Serious question, do you believe after this next all-time high, does that trigger MOASS, or do we potentially restart the cycle and continue on until God knows when shorts cover? Alright, that's a good question. All-time highs, like if we're talking all-time highs, because mind you, we've had a lot of intermittent squeezes throughout all of this. Like Amy, for example, back here went up 170% back in March. Over here in July went up 100%. Even back here in December of last year went up 55%. Back here in August, 64%. I mean, if you want to take it from the bottom of that, 81%. And then going back to June, 500%. So it's not like squeezes aren't happening, and people are like it's a good opportunity for me to say this, because I don't think anyone has been aware of it. There have been squeezes that keep happening, but everyone's still caught up on 72 or 500. That's people's go-to benchmark for if something's squeezed or not, which is really fallacious, because if you go up 100% and then drop 50% and then go up 50% again, you still moved up 50%, but the net is 75% in total, which means you're down 25% from your all-time high. So I don't know why exactly I was bringing that up, but I wanted to make that apparent. I want to make sure it's in the front of everybody's heads, because a lot of people are still, I don't know if it's rudimentary thinking or elementary thought, but I'm no longer a fucking believer in MOASS. I hope it happens. I really do. I'm still buying in. In the back of my head, I want it to happen, but after all of this shit, I don't think it's in the cards. There's already enough systemic risk all over the place that I don't think having meme stocks pop off thousands of percents is something that is tangible, at least in the current moment. I think after inflation is no longer an issue, and institutions and banks and fucking even politicians go risk off, I think you'll have much more opportunity there for squeezes. But every player that serves as a mechanism in this giant system is saving face with someone else. So if someone is caught in a margin call, there's going to be another institution that says, hey, here's this over-the-counter bond, basically, is the way to think of it. If someone gets caught on the wrong side of a trade, hell, we saw it with nickel. But if someone gets caught on the wrong side of a trade, they can call up some guy, the floor above them, below them, across the street, a block away, and chances are that you're going to have another Melvin and Citadel situation, where Melvin was caught in the red by millions or billions, whatever it was, and then some other player is like, hey, here's a capital infusion. Maybe we'll have some favors that are under the table, or we'll just have some form of loan agreement, and then that particular player satisfies their margin call, and they move forward. The same thing with inventory. If someone's caught without having enough shares for something, they can call up fucking Goldman. Call up Goldman's prime brokerage desk. They're going to give you those shares, probably no matter what. And this is something that I've been trying to articulate for a while. And between all of the chaos of YouTube and charting and all the other shit that I've been doing, it kind of gets lost in the noise of all of my thoughts. But I've been trying to say this since day one. So maybe it's just my lack of articulation or focus. But this is how Wall Street works. And when there is chaos, there is opportunity. There's always opportunity in chaos. And that's what people really don't understand in the most ironic way possible, because a short squeeze is opportunity in chaos. It's just that retail happens to be on the right side of it for once. So to answer your question though, I'm sorry. I'm not, it's not something that I have abundant amounts of faith in, just plain and simple. I don't think that you're going to see these crazy price targets. Not even people who were saying 100,000, a year ago, if someone asked me if it's going to hit 100,000, I would tell them, hey, if the laws of supply and demand don't get messed with, then in theory that could happen. And that's still true. But nowadays, it's like, dude, look into just macroeconomics and understand that if you have one stock in a capitalistic fucking stock market that goes up by hundreds of thousands of percents, all right, with 500 million shares outstanding at $100,000 a share, I still think I remember the number. It's like $50 trillion is what that market cap comes out to, which is twice the amount of the US's total debt from one stock. You're then going to have this like reverse deflationary effect that would crash the US dollar and then actually just fuck up the entire world's reserve currency system, which is where the US dollar sits at the top of. So like that alone, like I'm sorry if some dickhead with clickbait thumbnails and this is and that's and titles told you that 100,000 was a fucking possibility. If you have a problem with me telling you it's not, go complain to them, not me. And for fuck's sake, understand that if you can wrap your head around that, you'll save yourself a lot of trouble, as well as your dignity when you go around telling people. Plain and fucking simple. When we go to ranges of like $1,000, still super iffy. I could see 200 tops. Just plain and simple. Because then spreads become fucking crazy, and that becomes one hell of a fucking target for shorts. A stock that has a fundamental value of double digits being triple digits times 2 is one of the quickest ways to have a company get shorted. And let alone the fact that we're going through one of the biggest fucking scenes that the world has ever seen. I hate that I just used the same word twice. But the fucking stage that the world is propped on right now with Russia, China, Ukraine, Taiwan, currencies, hyperinflation. I mean, you have a war that is at the brink in 2 different fucking theaters, by the way, considering that China wants to go after Taiwan, even releasing an official white paper saying that Taiwan belongs to China and always has, and then Russia doing basically the exact same fucking thing, but with Ukraine. Inflation that we haven't seen in 40 years. The housing market, like there was just like a 20% increase in inventories within the housing market. That's going to destabilize. Real estate's going to shit itself. Jerome Powell evidently has no idea what the fuck he's doing in terms of running the Fed. He's doing his best Volcker impression he fucking can ever since the past 2 months. Like, you have to understand, like, I want retail to win. I really fucking do. But for the love of God, I'm not going to piss on you over the fence and tell you it's raining. And while some people want to do that, and then collect ad revenue and super chats or whatever this and that, you know, if they're cool with it and you're cool with it and that's how you get by in this, great. Otherwise, I'm not going to do that, and I don't ever want to support anyone that does that. So if you don't like the truth, get the fuck out of here. If you don't like honesty, get the fuck out of here. If you don't like any form of realism, get the fuck out of here. Just plain and fucking simple. So just grow the fuck up. It's the stock market. Leave your emotions and your ethics and all of that at the door, because everyone who can move these charts doesn't have them. Greetings from Footstop. Hey, what up? Tell Charlie I said hello. Matt Kors? See, that's the thing, is Matt Kors started to distance himself from the apes, and not in like a nefarious way. But then everybody started telling him that he's no longer part of the movement. He doesn't care about retail. And in actuality, he still does care about retail. And I think back then still did. Even I was shitting on him. I even called him and apologized like 3 months ago. I was like, dude, I'm sorry for being such a dick. I didn't realize like how much fucking chaos was going on. And here you are, you're being asked to be interviewed on every mainstream television source where your friends, your family, your fucking previous employers, potentially future employers are going to see you. If you're caught saying this shit without anything to support it other than, well, the DTCC, which is overly fucking quiet, they aren't going to let anything out. The NSCC, the National Securities Clearing Corporation, also the same thing, and is just a spoke to the hub of the DTCC. They won't fucking say a thing. You have data providers who can't even agree on certain numbers, and then you have half of Twitter going about and pulling different screenshots from different services, and then saying, well, it's a glitch, and, you know, it must be a lie, and so MOASS tomorrow. Like, do you understand that no one has taken the fucking time to just concentrate what is known and what is not known, and using that to make a logical argument and deliver it to anyone who can enforce the law? And yet still people get butthurt when you tell them, hey, $100,000 isn't a possibility. You would just uproot and destroy the entire economic system of the entire world. Like, if people focused, this goes all the way back to when I started this fucking channel. And I know there's a lot of people in here who have been following me from day one, and I thank you and I salute you for that, even when I stopped fucking making videos for like 6 months, 2 times in a row. Listen, the whole entire reason why I started this channel was to document my research and as well as help spread some truth and some good principles in going about this. And the thing that turned me off from making videos and streaming was there was this fucking hysteria, this like euphoria of moon tomorrow, lines only go up. Shout out to Edward, by the way, you fucking retard. You know, we're gonna try to apply Wyckoff schematics to RSI. Like, just shut the fuck up and just like stop looking for things that just point to moon. Like, evaluate everything. And that doesn't mean you can't be optimistic. It doesn't mean you can't have faith or hope. But stop fucking jerking each other off on the internet with things that don't have any validity outside of your preferred fucking perspective that is confirmation bias and every form of echo-chambered fucking rhetoric, man. It's incredibly fucking pompous and stupid that some people are still like this fucking obsessed with not having anything that shows what is going on. Instead, it's just the same regurgitated buzzwords, dark pools and liquidity and OTC and this and that, and no one even knows the fucking definitions to these fucking terms, and yet everyone throws them around as these filibuster placeholder words for when they're caught not being able to explain something. Like, it's just fucking stupid, dude, and that's what fucking turned me off from making videos. And listen, I was one of those same people who was like moon every day and this and that, but the difference between me and everybody else was that I was actively doing research and developing and programming. Like, literally, I have made financial indicators for this shit that have called numerous fucking squeezes and tops and bottoms. That's the difference between me and everybody fucking else. And there are other people, there are tons of other people out there who are the same. People who actually care about their work and what they're collecting. But still, you have this either loud minority or just an unfortunate echo chamber where it's just fucking confirmation bias. Anyone that suggests that there's a flaw in your thinking is now either a shill or works for the hedgies or this or that. It's just a giant echo chamber circus of retards. And it doesn't do anything but just destroy credibility, dignity, and logic. And it destroys any fucking possibility of something actually happening. Because instead of looking for where things could be going wrong, and where there is corruption, and where there are problems, you just keep regurgitating the same shit that makes it to the top of Reddit, and then a week later makes it to the top of Twitter, and then a week after that makes it to fucking stock twits. And then it's like, oh, here we go. Cycles are bullshit. Yeah, here we go. You have your own media cycles that are just complete fucking delusion, and you don't even realize it. All right, let's get back to the charts.